Hello, Gary Hernandez here, and welcome to Cane Self-Defense with Master Gary Hernandez. Today I want to talk about the small, thin cane. Now, this is a very small, thin cane that I've had for a long time. And it only cost me a couple of dollars. I don't even remember where I picked it up. It might have been at a flea market or garage sale, somewhere where I bought it really cheap. But I've seen a lot of people that don't want to have a thick, heavy cane. They want something small and thin. Now, the small, thin cane still works. It may not be as strong as a solid cane, but it depends on the wood. Now, this one flexes a bit, and I don't even know what kind of wood this is, but it's pretty solid cane. But will this break easier than a bigger one? Again, it can, depends on the wood. But when I want to talk about having a smaller, thinner cane is the fact that it's very light, which makes it very fast, which also means somebody a little bit weaker or smaller can pick this cane up and wheel it around a lot easier than a large cumbersome cane. Now, I have watched people for years and years when I'm out and about, and all of us that are into cane self-defense or like canes, you will notice another person's cane. It's kind of like when you buy a car. Let's say you buy a Mazda, or all of a sudden you start noticing more Mazdas. They've been out there, you just never really looked at them. And all of a sudden you buy one, and then you start seeing that brand everywhere because now you're recognizing it more. Well, same with a cane. The minute you start picking up a cane, using a cane, working with a cane, you will start to notice more canes out there with people, and you will start to look more at their cane and go, okay, that looks like an interesting cane. Well, one of the things I've seen over the years is sometimes I'll see somebody without a tip. And I've talked to a couple of people, I've struck a conversation with them. And some say, well, my cane's a smaller, thinner cane. It was kind of made, by somebody, or I made it, or I picked it up somewhere, and I can't find a tip that fits it. So some people will put a little bit of tape. If not, when you're walking around on this mat, you're not going to hear it. But when you're walking on concrete, you hear the clunk, clunk, clunk. And they don't really care because they're not worried about slipping. They're kind of just using it kind of to support themselves a little bit. With that said, without a tip, there's a good thing you could do with that cane. Because you don't have that rubber tip, when you're striking, now you have more solid piece of wood. So when you're doing a bayonet strike, it's going to hurt a little bit more. But what I like about it is the fact that this one here, I don't have a tip on it because I haven't really found a cane tip small enough to fit this. I found one's too small that won't fit this, but not the right size. I probably could whittle it down and put one on there, but I'm not going to do that. It has a little bit of an edge around it, and that's great if I happen to want to strike somebody across the face. When I have a tip on there and I'm striking them across the face and I catch them with the tip, it's the rubber part hitting them. But because it's the wood, I can actually do what's called a pressure cut. I can kind of cut them open across the face because the wood scrapes really hard against them and can create a pressure cut. Just like boxers when they're hitting with their knuckles and they cut some of the skin, even with their gloves on, they're creating a pressure cut. Same thing, I come across the body, across the face, and that's going to kind of hit them nicely. It's going to come across here. It can open up the skin if I do it just right. So with a small cane, it's almost like I'm going to fence, but I'm coming in and I'm striking. And as I'm hitting in the face, they bring their hands out. I can still whip that cane down, catching in between those knuckles, damaging those knuckles, scraping into that hand. So without a stopper here, or a tip, I can still cause quite a bit of injury with that wood. When I'm hitting somebody, it's more concentrated, condensed in that area. So small canes are not bad to have either. If you want to carry something else that big or light, I mean, you can, even if you have you can take your tip off your cane, suddenly smack them, and using that area, which could be rounded off or a little bit of an edge put in there to cut into the body. So there's a lot you can do with a smaller cane. Granted, your hook is not as big, but look, this one still fits around my neck. It's kind of tight. Yeah, I got a fat neck here, so it's kind of tight. but it fits. It can still be used to pull somebody. So don't roll out small canes. If you like to collect canes like I do, practice with all your canes. See what you can do. It may not look as good or as fancy as some of my other canes, but you know what? Supports my weight. I weigh 230 pounds. Supports my weight. And it's pretty durable. So don't knock out a smaller cane. Work with them. Have fun with them. You never know. Maybe you want to carry that one. It's smaller. You can kind of put it in tighter places. And they're fun to work with. Again, pull your tip off your cane once in a while. See what the edge looks like. See if you can't do what's called scraping hits. So, have fun with it. So just a little idea to work with a smaller cane, what you can do. Gary Hernandez, thank you, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye.